hope you're okay. You're probably wondering why the hell has Jen got a big inflatable dice for this video. This is going to be a bit more fun and a bit more interactive for you, and I'm leaving it down to the chance of the dice as to what exercises you'll be doing. Obviously, I have sort of given a number of the dice a corresponding exercise, so I've kind of had a bit of involvement, but yeah, I'm literally just going to make this a little bit more fun and just leave it to chance of whatever I throw as to whatever we actually do. So I'm going to be just as surprised as what you are, to be fair. So yeah, the idea is you've got cardiovascular exercises. I've got two dice. I've got one for CV work and one for strength and conditioning work. So whatever the number it lands on, obviously, for example, number 1 for cardiovascular work is high knees, and number 1 for strength and conditioning is bicep curls. So that's pretty much how it's going to go. Your CV work, you're going to be working up to a minute for each thing, and then your strength and conditioning, we want you to aim for 12 to 15 reps. Okay, you've got the option after we've completed one round of the exercises, so you know you're going to be doing 12 exercises basically. You've got the option to stop there and cool down if you wish, or if you wanted to redo the circuit, then obviously pause the video, go back if you want to, or if you can remember it, then great, you can remember it off the top of your head. So for this video, I've got the dice, I'm in control of that. You're going to need hand weights and you're going to need a chair, okay? So make sure you've got a nice sturdy chair to be able to do some sit to stands on, and maybe hold on to do some balance work if we're doing any leg work. Depends on whether the dice rolls for the leg work. As always, make sure that there are no changes in symptoms, health and medication. Your room's well ventilated, you've got appropriate footwear on, or if you're on carpet like me and you want to do barefoot, as long as you're not going to fall over, then that's fine. And make sure you've got a drink to hand in case you get a bit warm and need a break. Okay, so you need to make sure that you've done your warm-up before you commence with the rest of this workout. So if you haven't, go and do one of the warm-ups, come back to me, and then we will carry on and do your dice workout. So we're not doing PE with Joe today, we're doing PE with Jen. Okay, so as I said, go and get warm, come back to me when you're ready, or if you've already done your warm-up, then we'll get cracking. Okay. Right guys, okay, so you should be nice and warm now. So we're going to start with the first 2 exercises. So the first dice I will be rolling is for the cardiovascular. So that has landed on a number 5, which will be a hamstring curl. And your second one will be a number 2, which is a wall press. Okay, so 5 and a 2. Let me just put those down there. So in between me rolling dice, I want you to just carry on marching just to keep the heart rate up, okay? And making sure that you're not sort of dipping in and out with your heart rate, okay? So first one is a hamstring curl. So what we're doing is we're bringing your feet up towards your bum, just like we do in our warm-up, okay? But you're just going from side to side. If you want to incorporate your hands like I do, just to sort of pull back, essentially, then you can. As I said, we're going to do these for up to a minute, and then obviously then we'll go straight into the strength and conditioning, okay? So as I said, it's number 2, which is a wall press, so you're not going to need your hand weights to do that. Okay, so really focus on bending your knee, sorry, and bringing your ankle up towards your bum, heels to bum if you can, okay? Nice wide stance. And then make sure your chest is nice and high, okay? Do a few more and then we'll go into your wall press, okay? So holding it there, making sure you've got a nice clear wall to obviously put your hands onto. Feet hip width apart or wider if you need to. Adjust where you're standing and then making sure you're going up and down. So as I said, we don't want any sort of pushing off the wall. Maintain contact with the wall and then bending at the elbows, bringing your face towards the wall, keeping your back nice and straight, chest nice and high. If you're finding that your back is arching, you may be too far away from the wall, so just readjust, okay? So you're aiming for 12 to 15 reps of that. So I'll do 2 more and then we'll get started on the next one. Okay, so marching, as I've said, in between. Okay, so just march it out and then I will do the next thing. Okay guys, so on to exercise number 2. So I will just grab the dice again. So cardiovascular exercise will be number 3, which is a jab cross, and your strength and conditioning will be number 2, which is a wall press again, unfortunately. Okay, so jab crossing. Okay, so as I've said, make sure whilst I'm doing all the dice stuff, you guys are keeping your feet moving as much as possible. Don't just stand there and wait. Okay, so keeping your feet moving. So jab cross, feet hip width apart, arms up, and then make sure that your fists are just below your chin. And then what you're going to do is alternate cross body jab. Okay, just again like we do in the warm up. Okay, but you're just going to be doing this for a minute. Okay, so idea is make sure you're twisting on the ball of your foot and that your hips are nice and central. Okay, so make sure that you're not doing this. Okay, you want to be up nice and tall, twisting into the punch. So as I've said to you in the warm up, make sure that you're punching corner to corner. Imagine you're in a box. Okay, and you just want to punch corner to corner. All right, so making sure your chest is nice and high and that you're not locking out your arms too much. There shouldn't be any clicking of elbows going on here. So it's nice and controlled and a nice tempo and rhythm. Okay, and as I've said, remember to keep twisting into it. Don't stand there and do this, because all you're going to do is hurt your lower back and your waist. Okay, so make sure you're twisting into your jab cross. All right, so we'll do a few more and then we will go into your wall presses again. Okay, so making sure that you've got a nice clear wall again. As I've said, you should already know where you need to put your feet now because you've just done it on the other exercise. Hands, find your space that you feel comfortable with, and then just leaning into the wall, bending your elbows, back's nice and straight. If you want a bit more of a challenge your centre of gravity, put your feet together, but again make sure that you're not arching your back at the same time. Okay, so wider stance gives you a bit more balance. Okay, as I've said, 12 to 15 reps of this, so I'll do a few more because I'm sure I'm up to 12 already. Okay, one more and marching it out. Okay, so we'll go on to the third exercise. I'll just grab the dice and we'll do that one. Right, let's see what it's got in store for us now. So cardiovascular work will be number 4, which is a box step. Let's move that out of the way. So you need a little bit of room for a box step. And your strength and conditioning is number 3, which is a static lunge. So you're going to need your chair to hold on to, okay, for this one. So marching, as I've said, and we're going to start with a box step. So your box step, let's just move that out of the way, is basically creating a box with your steps. Okay, so you're going to go out, out, centre, centre. Okay, so when you're ready, join in. But what I'm going to do is halfway through, we're going to change your lead leg. Okay, so if you're stepping now with your right leg first, you'll then start to step with your left leg. Okay, so I'm stepping with my right. Obviously on the camera it looks left, but as I said, just to make sure that we're evening it out, we're going to swap legs. Okay, so swap legs now. You might find this a bit difficult if you only like to go in one direction. Okay, to make this a little bit harder, you can take a wide sort of stance and really bend your knees, so you're almost squatting as you're into that box. Okay, so it's just 4 plants of the foot. Okay, we'll do a few more and then that's your minute up. Okay, last one. Okay, and march it out. Right, our next I think it was a number 3, wasn't it? Yeah, static lunge, okay? So grab your chair just for stability, okay? And have it on one side of you. And whichever leg you decide you want to do, remember, we're going to have to do this on both sides. So you're going to do 12 to 15 reps on one leg, 12 to 15 on the other, okay? So I'm going to start off with my right leg forward, left leg back, and then all you're going to do is drop the back knee, okay? So using the chair for support, just dropping the back knee, bending the front knee, okay? Keeping your chest nice and high, and you should be feeling this in the back leg and also the front portion of your bum on your front leg, okay? So do a few more and then we'll swap legs, okay? Some people like to have the hands on the hips, some people like to have the hands out, whatever feels comfortable, okay? One more and then we'll swap sides. So marching it out because that leg's going to be smarting a little, okay? So opposite leg now, back foot planted on your toes, dropping down to what feels comfortable. Some people can go quite low to the floor, some people can't, depends on your ankle and hip flexion and obviously whether you've got bad knees, okay? If you do have bad knees, then obviously you can choose to skip this or you can march on the spot whilst we carry on, or do an alternative that you've already done, okay? So a few more repetitions, as I said, 12 to 15 reps, and these will get you out of breath and legs feeling a little bit of a burn, okay? One more and march it out. Just move your chair out of the way, because hopefully you won't need it again for a little while, but we'll see what exercise 4 is on the dice, okay? Okay guys, so let's see what exercise 4 is going to be. So your CV is going to be another 3 again, so another jab cross, and your strength and conditioning is going to be a number 5, which is a leg extension, okay? So your jab cross again, as I've said, feet hip width apart, you're going to punch from corner to corner, really exaggerate your hip movement. So I want you to almost be sort of hip side on to the camera as such, okay? So crossing over, and don't just give it like a half-hearted punch, give it a good old whack, and make sure you're not snapping out your elbow, as I've said, okay? So you're keeping good form, good posture, but focusing on that hip turn rather than just turning at the waist, okay? And punching, as I've said, corner to corner. So imagine you've got someone coming at you from both sides. You need to punch them out the way, okay? So a few more jab crosses, and then we will go into our leg extension. That will be seated, so you will need to get your chair very shortly, okay? So a few more and then march it out, okay? So grab your chairs, march whilst you're doing it. Just grab your chairs, making sure that you're not going to be... I'm going to do this side on, guys, so you can see what I'm doing, but you guys can do it as you wish. So leg extension again. Because we're doing legs, we've got to do 15 or 12 on each side. So what we're doing is a leg extension, so making sure your chest is nice and high. Hold on to the bottom of the chair if you want to. Again, as I've said, make sure it's quite sturdy. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring your leg out and then back in, okay? Out and back in. So what you're doing is you're really concentrating on contracting the quadricep muscle, okay? So as you come up and back down, okay, so hold for a few seconds and back down. It's really easy to slouch in your chair and do this, and you will feel that your contraction won't feel as strong. So sitting up nice and high, you'll feel a contraction back of your leg as well if you've got tight hamstrings, okay? So you're just coming up and back down. So do a few more, just do 2 more. I've lost count, I'm sorry, okay? And then we'll swap legs. Okay, so as I've said, keeping it up nice and tall. Hold on to the bottom of the chair if you wish, or if you prefer to feel that contraction, you can hang on to the top of your leg. Okay, so I made that 4. So this is a really good one to do if you just in the house and it's a bit dreary outside, you don't fancy doing much, it's really good to just keep the strength up in those quadriceps, okay? So as I've said, out, toes should point towards the ceiling, and again keeping chest as high as possible and your back as straight as possible. Okay, so do a few more, 2 more, and relax. Standing up nice and slow, and then just march it out. Move your chair back out of the way, and then we'll go on to see what exercise 5 is, okay? Okay guys, so we'll find out what your 6th lot of exercise is going to be. Keep marching whilst I'm rolling the dice. So your CV is sit, stand again. God, you're going to hate me by the end of this. It's the dice, it's not me, okay? So let's see what I can do for your strength and conditioning one. What number do we have? We have a number 2, which is a wall press. No, we've done wall presses twice before, so let's roll again. Number 1, back to a bicep curl. So we've got a number 2, which is a sit to stand. So grab your chairs. And as I've said, make sure it's planted well, okay? So arms crossed in front, or however you feel comfortable to do them. Just making sure that you keep your chest high throughout the movement. So we're sitting and we're standing. I like to do this as a bit of a guide, okay? So as I've said to you before, really contract the glutes as you stand up, and the legs, the quads as well, okay? Push through from your heels, so push through the floor to push you up, okay? Making sure that your chest's nice and high and that your back's nice and straight. It's so easy to slouch and do that, okay? You want to be standing nice and straight, okay? So up and down. Control your breathing as you do. Adjust your feet if you need to. If you feel that you're going onto your tiptoes to stand up, it means that your feet are too close to the chair, so you need to take those away. Okay, we'll do a few more reps and then that will be your minute done. So 2 more. And you're probably out of breath like I am, so marching it out, okay? And then we're back to a bicep curl. So as I've said, you can do a hammer grip, which is that one, or palms out, which is the one I prefer. Keep your feet moving, and we'll go for 12 to 15 reps. Not overextending the arm. Nice little soft elbow, a nice little bend in the arm. Bringing it up to your shoulder. Keep marching as you're doing it, okay? So, shame you didn't get to do any shoulder presses or side leg raises, but it's up to the dice. So 2 more reps and then we'll march it out, okay? Pop your weights down, not on your toes, and march it out, okay? So you've now got the option, you can go and do your cool down, or if you want to, you can rewind, do this set again if you wish, okay?